Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a fight. As we see here, it is going to be, I think this is our Pryoxis versus Bone Doing Work matchup.
It is.
And there's no lag. We're in remote play. This is going to be a crazy matchup here, Boiler.
Yes. All right. I'm giving him the command. Please lock in, gentlemen. Main event. Unfortunately, Job, this card went a little quick, a lot quicker than normal. We did as much as we could to have Job join. He wasn't able to. The forfeit win goes to iGame You Watch. iGame You Watch has to go. He wasn't able to stick around much longer than he could, but respect for that. There you go. Oh, they're changing the damage and stamina modifier. 1.5 here on the ESFL. So
make sure they make it 10 rounds. There you go. Perfect.
There we go. Yep. So big, that's 2 points for iGame You Watch. Job still has a chance to make the playoffs next week, but that's a tough one, man. That's a tough loss.
Probably needs like a knockout. He might need like 3 points to even like safely secure into the playoffs. But this main event that we're having right here, Pryoxis,
yes,
I think
let's get focused.
On the left side, if I'm correct. Is he using Ryan Garcia or is he using Lomachenko? Do we have confirmation of that?
We will get confirmation. I was wrangling in the back.
Right.
So,
right. He's a man of many talents. So shout outs for Boiler for doing wrangling, commentating, and being my partner in crime. Shout out to Boiler right here. As we see here, a Ryan Garcia versus Lomachenko matchup. We know that Ryan Garcia has power in his hands, but Lomachenko, all-around boxer. So very interesting matchup to see here for our main event.
Yeah, it's not fun. I believe Pry is Ryan Garcia because that's who he was last week, and I think he's been Ryan Garcia a couple times. Had that beautiful right hand straight to the body that nearly finished his opponent last week. And did he get a knockout last week? I got to check the scouting report. But long story short, we'll definitely get confirmation. Well, I believe Pry more than likely is Ryan Garcia here.
Either way, it's going to be a hell of a fight, and we're probably going to see by the fight sales by the end of the first round either way. So we're going to have confirmation from the get-go. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about time for your main event in the ESFL Week 6 of the Undisputed season presented by CFESA. This is your main event. Pryoxis on the left side using Ryan Garcia and his opponent Bone Doing Work on the right side using Lomachenko in the blue. And this is where we're going to see how it's going to be playing out. The range game, the distance, who is going to be using patience versus the pressure, who is going to use their abilities to use their advantage to get the right swings in, because it's going to be all determined in the first ongoing moments.
It is. It sets the pace, sets the tone. Bone Doing Work obviously wants to be the aggressor. He said as much, but he also doesn't want to fall into an early traps and get behind big time early. So we're seeing him fight pretty smart. He certainly is not fighting with recklessness right now.
Yeah, and it seems like we see Bone Doing Work going to a loose stance, if I'm correct about that. But Pryoxis taking the center of the ring. He's doing such a nice job, just like gauging the system, being very patient, working his way, not really fully connected. Oh, but a vicious body from Pryoxis, doing a nice job. And this is going to be the Rubik's Cube problem for Bone Doing Work. What can he do to avoid these body shots and avoid these counters? Because if he's trying to go into the wheelhouse of Pryoxis, he's going to pick you up piece by piece every single time.
Yes, and that's, nice. I love that, how he lunged there, and then he threw the power left hand. Caught him perfectly. Good shot, good stuff by Pryoxis. I don't know, man. I don't have the solution to beat Pry by any means. So I'll give my thoughts on potentially what Bone can do, but trust me, Pry has an answer to almost any counter you try to work on him.
Yeah, but we see Bone Doing Work trying to do his best ability to answer with some shots of his own, but he's just getting it paced out. You saw the timing of that working for Pryoxis. Working so well. And with that being the end of the first round, Pryoxis, this is his game plan. Usually he takes a couple of rounds to down low, trying to analyze what his opponent's doing, and then he goes into full-on attack mode. So the fact that he's still developing a strategy against his opponent, Bone Doing Work needs to put out his opponent right here, right now.
Let's see what happens, man. Here we go. Yeah, that was such good use of the left hand, both the straight and the hook by Pry. Just so quick, good length, perfect precision and timing. Like, awesome. Good work for sure, especially against the southpaw like Lomachenko.
Yeah, nice a body into a left hook coming from Pryoxis, but now what can Bone do work do? He's trying to work on the body as well, but he needs to follow up with a little bit more. He's able to get the jab, but so far Pryoxis, again, that distance, sees his opponent out of his range, sees his opponent go for jab, and now he's going for strikes, and now body into the head again. Pryoxis picking apart his opponent so far, but Bone do work, he still has an opportunity. Sure, he's taking some damage, where he still has a chance to attack the body, maybe open up his opponent's head a little bit more, but right now, he needs to find a way back in the range game.
He does. Easier said than done, but that's really what he's going to have to deal with the most is the range as well as the speed. And speed is range in some regard in boxing, but that's one of the main puzzles, let's say, to be solved.
Yeah, trying to turn one square, and now you see like a whole bunch of different colors to the equation. But so far, we're seeing Bone doing work, not being fully aggressive, playing more to the outside, trying to bring his opponent in a little bit, which is an interesting play. I mean, he tried to go for the body uppercut, trying to catch him lacking, but with 40 seconds left, Pryoxis, the patient pressure of his style is working so well, but needs to be careful, but gets a nice 1-2 to the body, working so well. You see that stamina being so low for Bone to work, as per usual in these contests.
Good work by Pry, and what I love about Pry's style is, you know, it's pretty much as sim as you can get in a video game. He's always been against cheese and all that in UFC, and it goes here in Undisputed. Not that, as I've said, none of our fighters are really using cheese, but my point is, this looks like a real boxing match. Pry uses real techniques. When I see the game played like this, that's what gives me motivation and hope for the future. Because I'm like, look, this game looks pretty damn good in the hands of someone who's skilled. So there's some things to be fixed, but that's a good foundation at least.
And so far, a good foundation has Pryoxis in the top 8. But if he's able to get the 2 points here, that solidifies his position. While Bone's doing work, he needs to claw his way back into the top 8. He wants to make sure that his status is secure. And there's only one way, is to go through Pryoxis. But right now, he's going forward a little bit more than usual in the previous rounds. But it's just, how much does the fact of your opponent's being so patient, do you try to play into your own mind game? Do you not try to go as aggressive as you did before, knowing that your opponent's going to be so patient?
Yes, it's super tough. And at least in my experience, both in boxing and the UFC games, 80% of the people you fight in rank that are like top level are just block breaking, throwing massive combos, just unlimited pressure. So you're kind of used to that. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but what you're really not used to is someone who's super patient. Like when you go from facing a bunch of spammers to someone like Pry with a lot of patience and doing the right things, like that can really throw you off. You might be able to take some of these spammers, but someone with real skill and someone who wants you to come forward instead of the other way around, that can really be tough.
Yeah, but a nice counter from Bone doing work, doing nicely with under 1 minute. And this is the chaos that we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Bone doing work is known for that controlled chaos a little bit, working his way in, able to get some nice momentum, but with 30 seconds, we're back into the Pryoxis game. What I love that he's doing is that he's going to that little, like, 9 to phone booth, but at a little distance. You can see he'll just pick it off his opponent after a whip of the power straight from Bone doing work. And so far, so good. And that block ace has to be low. Oh, power shot from the straight of Pryoxis. But with 3 seconds, you see that stamina being so damn low for Bone doing work. And cover box predictions, this is going to be very scary.
Bone had like one of the best exchanges of the entire fight, but also a couple of the worst exchanges, meaning he whiffed. So he had a great round, but also a horrible round there, especially at the end. He was just missing big shots. His stamina was already low, and he was throwing power shots, which just super drains it. He was so close to like really maybe trying to turn the tide, but I think he's starting to dig himself in a hole if he fights like that, how he did at the end there, unfortunately.
Well, one judge see it his way, as we saw the cover box predictor score said 29-28 in favor of Pryoxis, but Bone doing work was able to win that last round. So whatever he did in that last round with the counters and what he did in that last part of the round got him that victory. So we'll have to see if he can keep up that same type of pressure that he's been doing, but it comes at such a high cost for his stamina and his striking, because that leaves him more open for counter punishes. While Pryoxis, knowing that he has his opponent just fully locked and loaded with the straights and with the hooks, It seems like he wants to go back in, but he's comfortable being in the center ring. It's just going dipping in and out, like doing a little bit of dance, a little bit of a waltz right here, Boyden.
Right, yeah, no, he's definitely comfortable. Not a problem at all. One thing I like about Pry is he's using the diagonal dodge to set things up, but he's not firing right off of that dodge all the time. He's almost using that to bait his opponent in. Now there, he does fire away because he knows that he has an opening after his opponent misses. So he's reacting in real time, but also kind of like employing his game plan and then basing his next decision off what his opponent does.
Yeah, and based on what his opponent does, it's also based on the timing, right? Like, you just have a sense while you're in this ring, like, once you get a feel of what your opponent's striking pattern is, the way to lunge that, it has to be so nice. But this is the range that I love seeing from Pryoxis. Look at this range. Not fully into the face of Bone doing work, but enough distance where if he takes, like, one little step back, he's able to answer back with his strikes. And you can see the body already hurting for Bone doing work as he still needs to find another way to come back in. You can see Senna fairly advantage to Pryoxis, but the health-wise, kind of even in this situation here, Boyden.
Yeah, but that stamina is only going to get worse and worse. Pry is so, like, he's like a junkyard dog that's got a piece of your arm. He's not going to let go, especially in his body work. Like, he's just so persistent, consistent with his body work, and it's starting to add up. Each body shot that lands, it does more damage than the last one. So, he's going to keep working that body. And we saw last week, he got I think a knockdown, maybe even a finish. I forgot again, sorry. But look at that body work. It's like actually hurt really bad. Look at that.
It was just like an anime. You saw like it was like Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. You see, he just like perfectly sees it, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna think about it for 10 seconds, then I got you." Boom, 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 boom. Gets it perfectly. No bread, no water, just meat into the body, just carving into the stomach again, countering and punishing his opponent, launching away. Pryoxis is putting on a masterclass of putting on execution towards the body, but Bone doing work says, "I am no slouch. I'm still gonna fight," but he's using so much stamina, and this is where Pryoxis could probably pick him up with more than 1 minute to go in this 5th round. We're already in the halfway mark.
Pry kind of goaded him into overextending, and then Pry allowed all of his stamina to get to full. Meanwhile, Bone's stamina was lower, and he was still throwing. And there's a huge disparity. And look at the permanent stamina disparity. Like, this is just going perfectly for Pry right here. We're only in round 5, too, by the way.
Oh, but gotta watch out. Bone doing work, doing some work on those body. And you saw him going to the head after that. He had some moments. Like, this is right here. If he can make it a little bit more dirtier, he might have an opportunity. But with 15 seconds, with a left hook coming in, putting everything on the line in 7 seconds, he might have an opportunity. This is just go for power straight, not fully connected. Bone to work, able to get the block up, and that will be the end of the 5th round. You could smell it. You could feel it in the atmosphere. Pryoxis wants a knockout here.
Man, I think, at least in my opinion, this is the best Pry's looked all season, at least as good as he's ever looked. He's going upstairs, but he's really working the body. He's using offense, but he's also got very tight defense, sidestepping, using range. Like, it's just all over the place, but in a good way.
Yeah, and it's been such a good way for Pryoxis. You can see just work, even though he misses on the strike, he's in the right position where he doesn't need to get punished, or Bone doing work is not fully seeing it. He's trying to work on the body as well, but so many times you're so worried about your body, but you need to protect that head, because right now he could get rocked, but the body shots, it's just the mix-ups are just so tasty. It's like a fight. It's like Street Fighter in here, man.
This is beautiful work, just picking his shots, and probably like will land a good shot and then reset, get his stamina, and then throw a 5-piece combo. And it's just like perfect stamina management in that regard. Now Bone here, he's super frustrated, man. That's got to be a tough position.
Yeah, because you want to do so much of your own work. You want to provide the aggressiveness against your opponent, but right now, it's so tough to see, because once you go in for the head, he's attacking your body. Once you go for a strike, he's lunging away or avoiding it, and you can't really fully hit him, and you get hit yourself. So it's just, he went to all of these plans, and so far they're not working. He still has a chance, mind you, with 1 minute to go, but body shots like that will just bring the domino further and further down here. Oh, again.
Pride's going for a finish here for sure, and at this rate, he's going to get it. He's going to secure the finish bonus, both in terms of the cash as well as the extra point. He's trying to, yeah, he wants to be that 1 seed, like you said, for real here.
Hey, I'm telling you, 12 rounds? You want to go 12 rounds with this guy? Good freaking luck, because it will be a timber every single time. Pryoxis knocks down Bone doing work, and we will see higher. Oh, wait, that's a mistake. That's a huge mistake. He's going to go to the 7 count, but that could have been a little bit higher. Maybe Bone doing work being a little bit fragile in that situation, but Pryoxis has his work fully completed, eating up the whole plate. And with that, even though he has a right cut, something to look out for. Pryoxis needs to be very careful, but a good knockdown for that round.
Yeah, man, that just shows that doesn't matter what your health is. You take all those body shots.
Oh my God!
Look, I don't know if he's gonna survive this. Oh man, Price giving him the business.
The business of hard knocks into the boxing ring as he hit a vicious right hook to rock his opponent. Bone doing work, trying to land anything he can against his opponent, but with 2 minutes 30, that's going to be a tall task. As both guys, oh my God, clean combinations beats everything instantly. As we see another knockdown for Pryoxis against Bone doing work. Bone doing work. Oh, that meter is getting higher up. Will this be a 3 points? It will! Pryoxis takes the top seed, number 10 points into the lead as a TKO win for Pryoxis.
Big dub, and his prediction rings true. You ain't getting no points, Bone doing work. But hey, Bone got in there. All respect to anybody who gets in that ring. But man, Pry did some work. That was beautiful. I love work with the body. That's why Pry's got one of my favorite styles, man. Just punish the body, man, until they can't freaking stand anymore.
12 rounds? 12 rounds for the playoffs? Spoiler, you sure about that?
Damn near unstoppable. But I mean, there's killers out there. And Prize, he's come up with the draw, and he's had, it's tough competition. But that Pry that we just saw with that game plan using Ryan Garcia like that, man, I don't think anyone could beat him. Not at this rate. But that's why we'd have the fights, dude. That's why we have the fights.
Absolutely. And there's going to be like Loso is weighing the wings, Fight Night's Finest, iGame You Watch, Roy season. They're